Everybody wants the Minnesota Vikings to trade down in the NFL draft from pick number 24. But how does that look? Can they really get good value? The Minnesota Vikings only have 4 selections. Yes, 4 of them when it comes to the NFL draft this upcoming April 24th. And you know what? It's frustrating. You would like the Vikings to have significantly more capital to be able to fortify the back end of that roster and get some real upside in the room. But they decided to take that upside with Dallas Turner last year. And they also used their second round pick to try and move up and fortify the quarterback position. Luckily, they did not have to use the pick to go get a quarterback, so they ended up taking Dallas Turner with a slight trade up, but they gave up 3rd and 4th round picks this year as well. So they have a 1st, 3rd, a 5th, and a 6th. So how are they going to recoup draft capital? Well, the easiest way to do that is by trading down. If you trade down, you'll be able to recoup something. And that would be a huge asset. But what does that look like? And who would want to trade up? So the easiest way to find a team that wants to trade up is by finding a team who still has a high grade on a player left on the board. And that would be like the last 1st round grade. Be like, okay, I could get this guy to value because he was like the 10th player on our board. This would be a great asset for the team and it'd be worth trading up for. The Vikings did that with Turner last year. He was 8th on the consensus board. They got him at 17th. So there is merit to it. But what would a trade look like? And I wrote for Wide Left a couple of years ago talking about the Kwesi Ovamensis trade. Excuse me. That was last year. Time flies when you're having fun, let me tell you. So what would it look like for the Minnesota Vikings to, do that and be able to get a trade completed? Dalton Wasserman of Pro Football Focus had them trading with the Seattle Seahawks, and it was an interesting one. It was 50, 92, and a 3rd round pick in 2026. That doesn't seem like a lot. And if you look at the conventional trade charts, the Rich Hill and the Jimmy Johnson, it's not. They lost, but they won in the analytics charts for about the same cost. So what does that tell us? Well, 2 of the other 3 Vikings trade downs in the NFL draft had the same exact theory, where 2 of the 3 trades the Vikings trade down lost in the conventional ones, won in the analytical ones, and the only one that was different was the trade with the Green Bay Packers in 2022 when they won across the board. Yep, we beat the Packers and we got them good in a trade. So maybe that's the way the Vikings need to look at it. You want to look at it from an analytical plus perspective and not a conventional plus perspective. Now, is that the right way to do it? Well, your mileage is going to vary on who you talk to, but the analytical charts are more about adding total quality, where the conventional ones are more about pick value rather than player value. So I find it very interesting how the Vikings might be able to maneuver. Teams that could be interested, the Buffalo Bills, Kansas City Chiefs, the Philadelphia Eagles, the New England Patriots, the New York Giants, the Cleveland Browns. I think the very back end of the 1st round and early in the 2nd round. Maybe the Jaguars want to send us back our 3rd and 4th round picks. That'd be pretty great. That's a possibility as well. So when you're looking at a potential trade down, it's not just about what you can get. It's about where you're getting it and who wants to come up. I think about 60 total players will end up having a 1st round grade across the board. But each team will only have like between 9 and 15, depending on what team. This is a weaker class at the top, but there's going to be a lot of guys, because it's relatively flat, between 20 and 60, where you're going to have players who like, oh, that guy's not a 1st round pick, but a team has a 1st round grade on them because it's such a unique class. If the Vikings can get capital next year, might be smarter to bank on it and have a huge class next year with the salary cap situation, and you have to really build out the back end of the roster with guys on smaller contracts, than doing it this year when the class just really isn't that good. I'm Tyler Forness with A to Z Sports. Skol Vikings.